Tommy, I've been thinking about kitchen islands. It seems that everyone who has one loves it, and everyone who doesn't have one wants one.
Exactly. Well, I build a lot of them. And you know what? Who wouldn't want an island? Think
Right.
about it. They're great for prep area. They're great for sitting around and have a conversation. It's just a great part of the kitchen.
And a renovation is a perfect time to put it in. But if you're not doing a renovation, there are some options, and here's one of them. This one can be rolled in and out of the space, and we just bought this right off the shelf and assembled it. But it's got some drawbacks. All of your storage is exposed, so you see the clutter. And to me, this just isn't big enough.
Yeah, it is a little small. But you know what? I want to build something that will function just like this. But I don't want to see any of the clutter underneath. I want to make it a little bit bigger, and I want to buy all the pieces off a shelf.
I'm on board for that.
All right, let's go. There's a lot of different choices when it comes to stock cabinets to choose from. We've got different finishes, different colors, different sizes, and different configurations. Now here's a base cabinet right here. It's got drawers in it. Really be nice idea, but the problem is although this is the right height now, once we add casters to it, it'll be too tall.
Yeah, okay.
Now we can modify that simply by cutting off the bottom, and that will allow for a caster height.
Yeah, but that's a little bit of work, right?
Right. And the other issue is we'll have to finish the back because it's an unfinished back.
So I'm getting the sense that you don't want to use this base right here.
No, I think it would be a lot easier if we took a couple of upper cabinets. All right. They're already 30 inches tall.
All right, and so this one's actually going to come up when we add those wheels, so it'll be at the
Right.
perfect height.
Exactly. Now, if we took some of these and we put them back to back, we now have finished ends and finished sides.
Very clever, okay. So uppers, and what size are you thinking?
Well, we got all different sizes. We got 18, 24, 30, 36. How about a couple of 30s?
Okay, we'll do that.
We need a piece of 3/4 inch plywood. Instead of buying a whole sheet, we can buy a pre-cut panel. Now let's get some 4-inch casters. I want 2 of the brake and 2 that swivel.
Okay, Tommy, 2 cabinets back to back.
Right. All right, now what I want to do is I want to screw the 2 cabinets together, but first I want to remove this piece of wood right here to make the bottom flush all the way across. Then we're going to insert a piece of 3/4 inch plywood to tie them together.
All right.
Okay, let's see how it fits. Put it in, push it together. Nice. Now we'll take it out. We're using carriage bolts to hold the casters to the plywood. You got it there?
Yep.
We're driving the carriage bolts into the holes, and then we're cinching them down with nuts and washers, bringing the heads down flush with the plywood. Now we're ready to fasten the dolly to the underside of the cabinet. I'll drill 4 holes in the cabinet and screw it from underneath. Okay. All right, now I'll hold it together if you want to screw that first side. Okay, good. Now if you want to squeeze the 2 cabinets together, make them even, and I'll screw up the other cabinet. Okay. Now we'll put some screws through the top. Now let me put a shim between the 2 cabinets so the backs don't pull apart. Okay. That's good. Now we just cut them off. All right, we've cut 4 strips of plywood to use as fillers right here so we can screw through the underside of the cabinet, in through the filler, into the top. We'll tack them in place with some glue.
Okay, this one's coming in for you, Tommy.
Now the nice thing about this design, we can use any kind of countertop we want. We can use stone, we could use laminate. In this case, we're going to use butcher block.
All right, and what are you thinking about the length?
Well, I'm thinking about 36 inches. That will give us a good size overhang on each side. Now just clean up the edge. Okay, now the idea of it is I want to center the top from front to back, and I want a longer overhang on that end, probably about 4 inches, and put a 2-inch overhang on this end.
And the idea is that we're going to install a towel bar over here, so we want to make sure that there's some clearance.
Exactly. All right, let's fasten the top down. You can put just about any kind of finish on here that you want. You can stain it, or you can put a urethane on it, you can put a varnish on it, but because we're going to use it as a cutting surface, we want to use mineral oil. And because we're using mineral oil, you'll have to reapply it a few times a year.
Okay, Tommy, we've got ourselves a towel rack and handle on this side. We've got all of our pots and pans nicely stored, but they are tucked away behind closed doors. Storage on the front and the back, and a nice big cutting surface.
Right, and because it's on wheels, we could use it as a serving table, or we could tuck it away in a corner when not in use.